Good morning from Fairbanks. We are checking out of our hotel and heading to the airport, where we will check in for our flight to Dawson City in the Yukon. This is a super chill airport. The process was super easy, as we were only traveling with our group, and pretty much the only people in the airport was our group. Follow along as we go back in time to the Gold Rush era. Hey travelers, this is Michelle with My Traveling Owl. If you are here, it is because you're interested in a Holland America cruise tour through Alaska and the Yukon. Or you didn't even know these tours existed until now, and now you are intrigued. And you should be. This is part 6 of our 11-day journey through Alaska and the Yukon, including Denali. So here we go. We just boarded our flight to Dawson. This is a charter flight and it's our own plane. We're so excited. Great seats and great views of the Yukon coming our way.
In preparation for takeoff, flight attendants, please be seated.
Our flight into Dawson took about an hour. Along the way, we got to take in some views, as well as another sighting of Denali, the third of our trip.
This was our first flight that we ever had to walk down these stairs and then across the tarmac. And it was a very short walk to customs. There was a small line, but it didn't last long. The bus was sitting right outside waiting for us. There were a lot of small planes at the airport, as that's how a lot of the locals got around. Right outside the airport, you can see the history of mining in the area. All these piles are leftover tailings from the dredges from years ago.
Here we are arriving in Dawson City at the Westmark Dawson.
Make sure you check out the Kino Lounge upstairs in the lobby. More to come on that.
Inside the Westmark Dawson Inn is a restaurant called Belinda's. We didn't actually eat here, but here's a look at the menus. Here's a look at the Kino Lounge menu. Jim talked about this earlier. This was our favorite spot in Dawson.
I cannot stress to you how good these wings were at the Kino Lounge that we ate here twice in the 2 days stay.
Here's a tour of our room at the Westmark Inn. If you notice, check out that key. You don't see that anywhere, but here. The accommodations were perfect. It looked old school. However, it had been newly refurbished and everything was clean and very comfortable. As with most hotels, this bathroom also included shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. But if your hair is temperamental, bring your own.
We really enjoyed walking this town. For 2 days straight, that's all we did was walk to different restaurants, different stores, different things to look at. The history of this town is amazing. This building is the hotel that we stayed in. It is made to look like the buildings that stood here before. Although we never made it to the Triple J Hotel, we heard it had a really nice restaurant. This colorful building is the school building in the town. The kids chose the color.
If you look in the distance of this picture, you will see on the hill a landslide. That landslide, if you look back in old pictures, was there in the gold rush. There's a closer view of the landslide I talked about earlier.
I'm sure some of you are fans of the show Gold Rush. This is Tony Beats' Jasmine B. It has been in a few episodes of the show Gold Rush. The magnitude of the Yukon River watershed is truly amazing. These vehicles are loading onto the ferry to continue north on the Klondike Highway. This is the only way to cross the Yukon River.
There are a few ways you can book excursions in Dawson City. One, you can go to the visitor center. Two, you can do so right from the lobby at the hotel. And the third way would be to book it on the Holland America app before you leave.
From head to toe, this is one of the best trips we've ever been on. When we are in other countries, we always like to stop in the grocery stores just to check them out. The biggest disappointment of this entire trip was that there was no Klondike bars in the Klondike. Back at the time of the gold rush, people had to get resourceful. The siding on this building was flattened out oil drums.
These are called the kissing buildings. They didn't get built this way. This is what happens when you build on top of permafrost without an open barrier. Basically, a building sitting on the ground produces heat and melts the ground. So when that happens, the ground melts and they start to sink, and that's what you can see right here. So what they do now is they build everything basically above ground on stilts, and even that boardwalk you see right in front, which is the sidewalk, is built above ground so that it doesn't sink as well.
Here's some new construction to make it look like it was from the gold rush period.
This is Diamond Tooth Gertie's. We checked out a show here and they happen pretty much nightly. This can show should not be missed. And did I mention it's also a casino? In addition to alcohol, you can also get food here.
The best prices in town, and those sandwiches were good. Let's take a second to talk about the people you meet along the way. This is Melanie and Keith. We met them during the land portion of this tour, and we continued to meet up with them throughout the entire cruise, and we had a great time.
Diamond Tooth Gertie's runs 2 to 3 shows per night while in season. The storyline is based on the trials and tribulations of the gold miners. While we were there, you could buy tickets to the show for about $15, and it is good for an entire year if you intend to come back and see the show again.
We actually used our tickets to get back inside just to buy lunch the following day. Then we took the lunch back to the hotel room and enjoyed some downtime. I'm sorry we had to mute this clip because of copyright laws. We're just waiting here on the porch for our excursion to start.
We did the Gold Bottom Gold Tour, and there will be another episode on that excursion shortly.
We actually visited a real gold mine, and they were in the process of digging out the dirt.
So all the cleaners behind the bulldozer actually
This was definitely one of the highlights of the trip for us, actually panning gold in the stream.
We both agreed this one should not be missed.
Well, unfortunately we did not get rich, but I did get this tag as a souvenir from a shop in town. Here we are waiting on another excursion. This time we loaded onto a bus and we went up to the dome. We will have more information on this excursion in the next video. Back in town, we chose to walk around again. The beginning of June was an amazing time to be in Dawson City. The weather was amazing. Here we are again, walking along the Yukon River. It was fun trying to keep up with Michelle. She's a fast walker.
The Commissioner's Ball was being held the night we were in town. We were all invited, but we just chose to do some other things. And, well, those other things may have been questionable. Back in the 1920s, a rum runner, Louis Lincoln, stepped into an icy overflow while helping his dog team during a blizzard. His big toe froze solid, and his brother Otto amputated it with a woodcutting axe and overproof rum. The brothers preserved the toe in a jar of alcohol. In 1973, the toe was discovered in an abandoned cabin and the Sourtoe Cocktail Club was established.
Here's the evidence of your money. Finally, somebody with a decent beard.
The Sourtoe cocktail is served with a minimum of 1 ounce of alcohol and a dehydrated toe. The toe must touch your lips at some point during the shot. The drink is meant to be consumed with a high alcohol content liquor such as whiskey or tequila.
Yup, I did it. What can I say? I'm a gold miner in the Klondike.
Jim wasn't the only one that participated. Take a look at the pic of the other participants in our group.
Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Here are a few pics of what's to come in the series.
For more information on how to book your Holland America Alaska cruise tour, or any other cruise tour for that matter, reach out to me at mytravelingal.com.